Not just for the voice, Blake Shelton received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for the way he transformed country music. The voice is everything with Blake Shelton in the end, and without the need to add any additional punctuation, such as quotation marks, italics, or a capital T and V. That baritone, which reverberates with an authority that appears passed down from a distant age of country music, was the first and last reason he came to America, regardless of how modern the musical context that surrounded it developed. Even when Shelton is singing a boisterous party hymn, there's something in his tone that makes it feel like a grown-ass rowdy party anthem. It matches serious songs from The Baby to God's Country wonderfully. And do you recall how much of a relief it was when he shaved off his long hair in the early 2000s just after becoming a successful musician? Although the mullet had lost favor, that was not the main reason. It was not because Shelton required flowing curls, rather, he sought a hairstyle that complemented his voice. The world felt at peace once he began to appear as though he was singing. But, alright, we lied. After all, it's not only about the voice. It's also about the voice, of course, and the wonderful comic presence he provided for an incredible 12 years and 23 seasons. It has to do with an energy he brought to the NBC sitcom, an energy that at once looked laconic and extremely energizing. One of his few non-country idols was Dean Martin, and while it may seem sacrilegious, Shelton may have even surpassed Martin's ability to maintain an air of near-constant levity while also possessing the skills necessary to keep things grounded as a consummate pro. Not to mention his voice when speaking. Who among us hasn't felt the urge to relocate to his native Oklahoma to live in a place where everyone theoretically speaks with that irresistible spoken twang after hearing it nearly every week for the past 12 years in broadcast network prime time, where accents haven't always been welcomed? Now, as visitors walk by or near Shelton's new star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, they will recall that voice. Even if the singer is leaving the voice, years after the show's only other true staple, Adam Levine, made his own exit, they won't soon forget about it. Losing someone who spent this much time poking American buttons feels just as significant in television terms as Mark Harmon quitting NCIS. Many of the specific instances when I thought someone was on the verge of stardom or should be remembered, but Shelton stands out in my mind. It was over 7 years later, in 2003, before he even appeared on The Voice. He and I were speaking on the phone about the second No. One country hit of his career out of the nearly 30 that he's had so far. The tune in question, The Baby, was a traditional country story song, the genre on which he built his early career. This particular rendition of the song is a genuinely emotional ballad about a cherished mother who is dying, while the narrator